Are you ready to hear an inspirational hero tale about one of our four-legged friends? My name is Kim, and this is Harry Hero Tales. Welcome to this special bonus episode of Harry Hero Tales Animals to the Rescue, Season 2. I'm your host, Kim Hegel. I'm putting together this special bonus episode as we kick off Season 2 of Harry Hero Tales because I want to share an experience that I had that hopefully no one listening will ever experience in the future. It has to do with saying goodbye to my beloved co-host, Little Henry. Now, it's not going to be the tearjerker that it was when I ended season 1 and lost Henry, but I think it's important information to share. And so for anyone that may be experiencing or might experience in the future the very tough decision regarding a beloved pet that is in pain or suffering, and you're making the choice to choose to say goodbye, I want to walk you through an experience that hopefully brings to light some things to know to ask ahead of time, because I didn't, and I had been through it multiple times, and there were things that took place that I was not prepared for. And now I know, and I'm going to share this with you so that hopefully you will now know what questions to ask and what to make sure is taking place if you're in that situation and are going through that painful choice. In our last episode, season 1, episode 12, I shared the heartbreak and situation that I was dealing with Henry, and that in fact the next day after I recorded that episode, I would be saying goodbye to Henry. And I did, in fact, do so. I made this painful decision, and I had gone through it a few times before that. It's never easy, it's always painful. But in this instance, I experienced something that I have not experienced previously. And because of it, it made the situation even more excruciating than it needed to be. So, thinking through that, I was not sure if anyone else had experienced this. And for anyone, like I said, that makes that choice, I just want to inform you of something so that you can either be prepared or make sure that you vocalize that you do not want what happened to my little Henry. So, in my experience with euthanasia, the vet facilities have really thought through and planned out what room you're going to be in. You can schedule the time and prepay, so you don't have to deal with that when you're walking out the door afterwards. And it's usually at the end of the building so that when you exit, you don't have to go back through the front lobby. You can go out to your car and exit. And those facilities that have the setup like that, it does make a difference, and I do greatly appreciate it. And this vet had that setup and that plan, and it was organized in such a way. What I wasn't prepared for is when the doctor came in and we did an assessment. She asked great questions. I explained to her what was going on. She had looked at his records and saw the growth that was on his heart and agreed that this was definitely going down a path where his pain and suffering was only going to increase and increase exponentially. So she agreed with the decision. And then she got the medications, basically the syringes, prepared, came into the room. And what I'm used to, what I've experienced in the past, is they usually take the animal to the back and they will put in an IV and either start the sedation at that point just to where it makes him a little comfortable. Most of the time they don't do that. They bring him back in. He's still awake, so you can say goodbye. He or she's awake. So in this situation, they did not do that. Henry stayed with me. They went to the back to get the medication. They came back in, and the first thing out of her mouth is, for a dog who is older with severe health issues, which to me, I'm thinking maybe not the older part, but isn't that most animals? But she said with older dogs with some pretty severe health medical issues, the first injection, which I don't even know exactly what medication that is, but I know it's intended to make them drowsy, relaxes them, that sometimes this can actually kill them, not the injection that is intended to stop the heart. I just looked at her and I said, okay. No one's ever said that to me before. Like I said, I've been through a few of these. I still wasn't prepared. I didn't say anything, but I thought it was weird that he didn't have an IV in. I should have said something. And this is why I'm putting this in, because I didn't know to say, this isn't what I want. Now I know. She injected this, whatever it is, I don't even know the name of the medication, to make him drowsy, make him relax, into his hind leg, near his hip. The amount of howling and pain that came out of him as the medication was pushed into his muscle, I can only guess. I don't know about you, if you've ever had a shot that goes into your arm or your leg. That's one that's really painful. I can imagine what it felt like, but he's so tiny. He's so little. It was awful. It was absolutely awful. And he was then so terrified or in pain, or I had to hold him on the table, and it felt awful to have to hold him down on the table through this. Henry couldn't relax. He wasn't drifting. He was howling in pain. And after she injected him a second time, he wouldn't stop. She went to inject him a third time. I put my entire torso and body wrapped around him, blocking her. And I said, we're not doing that again. Get an IV. And they went in the back and they set it up. I just laid there with him. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Over and over again. That was all I could say is, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. When they came in, he had relaxed Obviously, the pain had stopped, and whatever adrenaline was causing the effect not to take as quickly as they expected it to, he had relaxed. And after saying goodbye, and I was with him the whole time and walking out, and thankfully they had that private exit to the parking lot. I got in my car and I was so mad. And I don't know if there are questions I should have asked. There certainly were questions I should have asked. I don't know what I don't know at the time. Now I know, which is why I'm telling you this story. Not to be a Debbie Downer again, but because I think it's important for you to know that not every vet handles the situation the same way. I have no idea why they didn't set up an IV. I don't know if it takes a long time and it's just easier for them just to inject. I don't know. I don't want to put words in their mouth. I'm sure they're kind people. They're veterinarians and technicians, and you don't do that if you don't care about animals. So I'm not saying they don't care about animals. It was just not the experience I wanted for him at the end. And certainly not an experience I want to remember about him at the end. So I'm going to move past it and know that he was loved when he was here. We were bonded when he was here. I will forever miss him. And I am so, so sorry that those moments were any part of his experience with me. And I am determined that I will ask the right questions in the future and make sure that that never happens again. So hopefully this information is something that brings awareness to some folks that didn't know either, what questions to ask, and make sure it doesn't happen to you or your beloved animals either. While that only touches the surface of this amazing hairy hero, we have to leave it there for this episode. If you know of a great hairy hero tale and would like to hear it on this podcast, email us at hairyherotales@gmail.com. For more information on this program, visit our website, www.hairyherotales.com. That's TAILS.com. And be sure to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and wherever you get your podcasts. This is a Southpaw Productions podcast, edited, produced, and hosted by me, Kim Hegel. Opening and closing music provided by Mary Selvage. You can follow her and find out her show schedule at Selvage613 on Instagram, and check out her complete catalog of music available on Spotify, Apple Music, and more. And remember, there are four-legged heroes all around us. Who knows? You might even adopt one. I've adopted many little heroes from some amazing rescue organizations, and I've featured two on my website: the All-American Dachshund Rescue and the French Bulldog Rescue Network. If you're looking to rescue your next hero or would like to help with transport or financial support, I highly recommend both of these organizations. Neither are affiliated with this program in any way, but they both have my sincere gratitude and support. Thank you to all of the heroes of the world, and a special shout out to hairy heroes everywhere.